Hello everyone, welcome to Boarded Survival episode 10, double digits, woo! Also to celebrate, we have finally passed halfway on the achievements, with 61 out of 101 of them completed. On a less impressive note, we are only 10 out of 67 farms, no bases and no warden killed. And as always, this episode was streamed live on Twitch, twitch.tv/IADrivenII, so drop a follow to see the episodes live. Let's get into the video. During the week, we went mining for ancient debris for a full set of netherite armor. We streamed it on the alt account, and the stated reason being that netherite mining takes a tediously long amount of time, and suffering until 2 in the morning for what amounts to about 45 seconds worth of footage in the video is not the vibe. Also means that if I ended up dying a bunch of times, only the 3 people insane enough to watch me mine netherite at 10 AM on a Wednesday morning can witness my shame live. Luckily, we only ended up having 2 near-death experiences instead of actual deaths, so woo! We can start episode 10 with a full netherite armor set. We do still need to add some enchants to make them perfect, but that's a future Draven problem. Remembering the border part of Boarded Survival, we expanded the border to 8,192 blocks, meaning that this episode is the first episode where Subspace Bubble, the achievement for traveling 7,000 blocks in the overworld via the nether, is possible. Grabbing some obsidian, our initial plan was to travel to each border in the nether and set up corresponding portals so we could more easily travel to the end of the border in the overworld. We took our beloved Strider and started heading southbound. When we were around 2,000 blocks traveled, we were a tad confused as to how we hadn't hit the border, so we ended up parking our Strider near an almost completed ruined portal and just decided to go through there thinking, we'll just travel 1,000 or so blocks on foot in the overworld, it's fine. The portal did end up spinning us out right at the border, in a lovely frozen river mind you, but only when going back through the portal did we proper realize that the whole 1 block in the nether and 7 blocks in the overworld thing, there's no way our portal at 4,000 in the overworld would connect back to the one at 2,000 in the nether, and since the portal spat us out around 500 blocks out, traveling the 1.5k blocks back to the Strider we left at the portal on foot would be near impossible. So 07, dear Strider friend, you will be missed. Digging our way out towards the nether center, we headed back to more familiar ground and started tunnel around 600-ish blocks out to the north side. Since we can't fast travel via lava lakes anymore, tunneling was our best option, making it to 600 and putting the portal down and getting Subspace Bubble pretty easily. We went back to the nether and got spit back out in the middle of a nether mob salad and had to make a tunnel back to the other portal. The portal setup taking a full hour really did drive home the point that as the portal doubles, we are really going to need an elytra, and we'll need an elytra pronto to even start getting the scope of our land. The actual elytra is a bit of a pipe dream at the moment, as there's absolutely no hint of it within render distance, and we were just hoping that the second gateway that would be unlocked by defeating the Ender Dragon a second time would place us in range, but we decided it might be smarter to build some infrastructure that can slowly build up resources while we work on other projects. Deciding gunpowder should be our priority, we found this farm showcased by Shulkercraft that should be decently easy way to farm creepers passively. Actually watching the tutorial all the way through to stop it being the Iron Farm 2 Electric Boogaloo. We gathered the materials and got to work. We didn't bring a bed, so every night we got to take pot shots at the phantoms with our crossbow. I legitimately didn't think we'd actually be able to pull off 2 birds 1 arrow the intended way. I was envisioning some heavy cheese, but alas, bam. With added kaboom, our first lightning storm happened since getting the trident, and we beelined to the village as we needed the lightning villager advancement. Managing to make it to the village with plenty of time to spare, we got the achievement and immediately after decide to screw around with charged creepers because there's only so much being careful that I can do in one sitting, getting a creeper head and also doing a cheeky bit of property damage on our way. Heading back to the farm, we continued on with construction, only making it wonky once, which you can't actually tell from the footage because Australian internet is definitely notorious for working exactly how you want it all of the time. Back with slightly more HD graphics, we continued making our massive cobbled deep slate donut covered in slabs, and now this farm being a creeper farm, the spawning area has to have these slabs on the floor to prevent spiders from spawning, and trapdoors on the roof as it stops any mob taller than 1.7 blocks from spawning either. Basically everything but the creepers. These farms can be built as more of a passive, the mob walks off into the border stream to be killed, but since the spawn rate for the creepers are so low, it's more efficient to use another mob, usually cats, to scare the creepers away. But this is the first time I've seen use snow golems to aggro the creepers instead. Surprisingly, the actual farm building part wasn't the bit that went sideways this time. It turns out we'd severely underestimated the amount of wood we needed between the 100 slabs and 852 trapdoors, so we ended up burning through all of the wood we had chopped down in an earlier alt stream and had to resort to chopping more trees down. After successfully trapdooring the full farm and covering it with blocks, it is complete. Heading to the nether to complete our second goal for the stream, collect 4 ghast tears needed for the end crystals to respawn the Ender Dragon. After a good hour of running back and forth in this one patch of Soul Sand Valley, we got the tears and rushed back to the base to craft the crystals. Putting all of our valuables in the chest in the basement, we gathered our Ender Dragon hunting supplies as well as the crystals and headed it to the end for the second time, remembering about the spyglass as we didn't want to go through another hour of Ghastir hunting to summon the dragon for a third time. Placing some blocks down to stop all of the water we had strewn around the island from touching the bedrock in the center, I had the brilliant idea to break the blocks once the crystals were placed down, before the Ender Dragon got summoned, you know, for safety. And yep, I ended up exploding 3 of the crystals, so I hid in a hole of shame. Resigning ourselves to another hour of ghast hunting, we once again returned to the Nether, but luckily we got the tears in just over 20 minutes, meaning we could once again return to the end and actually resummon the dragon this time. Deciding to take a regular bow rather than a crossbow this time meant we could actually make easy work of most of the crystals, only having to climb up to break a few of the taller towers. The dragon was then taken down sword style with 4 perches, much to the chagrin of some of the chatters who were hoping I'd find a way to screw it up the second time over. Our reward for killing the dragon again was the second end gateway, which we hoped would spawn us nearest to an end city, but just like last time, even with our render distance set to max, there was not one hint of purpur anywhere on the horizon. Returning back to the overworld to check on how the gunpowder farm fared while we were on our dragon slaying mission. The good news being is that the farm works. It's not broken, just not near stacks upon stacks of rockets level of gunpowder. Well, nothing a little AFK session can't fix. And with that, the episode concludes. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you're liking the series so far and want to keep up with future uploads, remember to like and subscribe. See you guys next week. What's a skeleton? Okay. So sometimes I'm not as fine as I thought. Heart attack in our heart. What the hell? Both know that the night remain the same things that you said. I did it! Yay!